Hello and welcome. This is Mohit Pajicia and I welcome you to another YouTube video on this channel. Now, in today's video, our agenda is going to be very simple. Our agenda is going to be able to code something interesting. And what we're going to code today is our market homework, right? So traditionally speaking, what has happened over the many years, and the best of traders have always done their homework of market hours. In my 8+ years of teaching experience, I have actually taught a lot of people to do their homework before going to bed or early in the morning. And during the market hours, you do get a lot of time to scan through information and changes in the market. But the homework which you do after market hours is very robust and it makes a lot of things easy. Half the battle is won if you've done that well. Secondly, what tends to happen is during the market hours, you look at scanners, you look at strategies, you look at this, you look at that from various different sources. I've always encouraged my students to actually come up with their own ideas to make those scanners rather than plain simply accepting something from outside, right? Or use templates which are derived with technical analysis tools or maybe support resistance alerts, right? And all of that can still be done in a much more efficient way. So if an average trader spends about 2 to 3 minutes of their time on a chart, and they have to scan through, let's say, for example, Nifty 50 stocks and all the 50 stocks of Nifty 50, right? So they're on an average are spending around 150 minutes of their time on scanning through that chart, right? Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that we can make our work easier by turning that 150 minutes into like a 1 or 2 minute job. And how can we do that? So we can automate our homework, and instead of we looking at our own, own laptop screens and our computer screens, we can ask the program to run through data for us and give us what we want. Okay. So once you set the pipeline of this program, your 150-minute job becomes like a 2-minute job. It becomes so much more easy and so much more efficient. So what I personally do is I spend a lot of time during the market holidays and during the weekends, basically, to be able to come up with ideas. And the regular market days, the regular market hours, I leave my brain at rest to accept, understand, and adapt the changes which are happening in the market. Okay. Now, I do want to make sure that one thing is very clear in your mind, that there are a lot of people out there like myself who are doing quantitative research. Quantitative research, they tend to overlap certain things with technical analysis research. And this whole thing becomes a debate in people's mind. Earlier, when quants were not so much out there, sharing the knowledge publicly, most of it, the quant world was a black box. Earlier, the debate was between technical analysis and fundamental analysis. Now, what I tell people, being somebody who has learned from CFA, who has done all levels of CMT, who has done the EPAT program, and learned a lot from the multidisciplinary forms of research in the market, I say, why debate? If you are debating, you don't know yourself, you don't know what the truth is. Like, for example, somebody who debates on the basis of religion, or my religion is better than yours, that person doesn't have enough faith in their own religion. That is why they need to fight. They need to hit somebody else to make sure their belief is overpowering the other person's beliefs. Okay, not literally hit. You can hit with words and debates also. Similarly, when we are trying to bias ourselves and say, okay, this is very good or this is very trashy, it doesn't make any sense. Technical analysis and fundamental analysis and quantitative analysis do have overlaps in between, right? Now, if you say, for example, look at a fundamental analysis factor like a PE ratio. That PE ratio is, where do you get that from? You get that from price, right? Now that price, anything to do with price has got to do with technical analysis, or a lot to do with price has got to do with technical analysis, because the price movement is what technical analysis looks at. Second is, a lot of quants say that technical analysis is bullshit, that technical analysis is crap, but they don't realize that without technical analysis there would be a lack of framework in many ways for any general market participant who does not take interest in programming or statistics or mathematics of that level. Technical analysis provides a framework to start with. Yes, there are many who try and they don't make a lot of money doing it, but there are many who make a fortune doing trading through the framework of technical analysis. And any analysis, because it is a framework, after a point, it becomes subjective. Okay, so we cannot comment on any subjectivity. Here, what I'm doing in essence is quantitative research. I'm doing technical analysis research, and I personally don't feel that there is any kind of you cannot pigeonhole yourself into any one form of research, because technical analysis provides us, maybe not with rules which are backtest straightforward from the textbook and get a good result on each and every stock for each and every time frame, but technical analysis gives us the framework and the template for demand and supply. So whenever I'm doing my homework, I personally look at the markets from a view, not from a view that, okay, this signal is generated over here, so I will take a 1/3 stop loss of this range, and I'll take a 2/3 target of this range and whatnot. If I have to do that, I'll create an algo for it and I'll automate it and I'll trade that. I'll let the computer trade that. Because during the market hours, if I'm trading manually, I'm more interested in knowing the flow of the market. I'm more interested in knowing the demand supply dynamics and what kind of dynamics for demand and supply are actually helping me to gauge which instrument I should trade and how I should trade it. And give an example, if I notice there's a strong trend somewhere, and during the market hours, I'm talking about a super strong trend, which is going on the daily chart, and during the market hours, there's a correction. So those are things which I want to buy. Maybe I want to sell puts. Maybe I want to buy futures. Okay. So there would be the pockets of opportunity. Now, to be able to find those pockets of opportunity, I need to continuously scan the market. So in some other video, I will show you how to scan the market using Python live during trading hours and make a lot of things almost effortless for you. At the same time, engaging the opportunities, at least until a certain point, before you manually trade them or use further user intelligence to analyze those opportunities. So in today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to find a technical analysis template, right? We are going to code it on Python. And the more important part of this video is not so much about the technical analysis template, because or the quantitative analysis template, to be honest, because the essence of this video is, now I'll give you a framework to create your own homework on Python. And what you can do every day is you can simply run this code and you get a nice fresh Excel sheet which tells you this is the stock which is matching with X and Y conditions. This is the stock which is matching with A and B conditions, and what are the conditions are that you want to put in your code. Okay, so let's begin. I'll share my screen with a neat and clean, one second, with a neat and clean all new Python file. So I'm showing this on PyCharm, but if you wish to, you can do it wherever you want. You could do it in the Jupyter Notebook. You can do it wherever you want. Okay. So I'm just importing the important libraries first. Now, so all these libraries are imported. Let me just write a comment over here. I hope everyone can see my screen. importing important libraries. So the pandas package, the NumPy in the Y Finance, which is Yahoo Finance package, right? So this is, we're going to use the Yahoo Finance API to get the data. And what we are going to do is we're going to make sure that all the data ultimately comes to us inside an Excel sheet, right? So to get basically the entire Yahoo Finance data for the Nifty 50 stocks, allow me to just copy paste from my file a list of stocks, and we'll call it stock list. And this is the entire list. So you can just simply do a little Google search. You can just get this list from anywhere. Okay. So these are the ticker symbols for Yahoo Finance. And just to give you clarity, okay, this is approximately Nifty 50, give or take one or two this thing. And also I'll just give you clarity that what I do for myself is proprietary. I'm not disclosing that over here, but I'm disclosing how to do it. I'm going to show you some simple steps. So I'm not going to make a lot of complex conditions today. What I'm going to help you understand more and more is that while a lot of complex conditions can be built around, but you should start with some step one, right? When you're learning something new, like you're learning how to ride a bicycle, you learn on a very nice plain road where there is not much complexity of traffic, and you don't straight away go to the motor vehicle or the main road, right? So we're going to just understand from that angle, step by step. Okay, so I have created this stock list, and what I'm going to do is because along with this stock list for the Yahoo Finance API, I need the start and the end dates, because I'm going to pull the data from the start to the end date. And as we know, the end date is going to be the date today. But since I'm going to come to this program every single day, and I want to change a few things so that they are under my eyes, or I could simply make sense. Say for example, I'm using a 200 moving average, which requires 200 days of data. Okay. So from the start to the end date, to be able to calculate even 1 point on the 200 moving average, I need 200 days of data. So I need to go more than a year back for that. Okay. So that depends completely on you, how long you want to go back to be able to get a clarity and able to get your conditions fulfilled, not just fulfilled, to even basically get your conditions calculated, you need to go that much back, right? So I'm just going to put it right now for about a month back. So it's 2023 right now. So let's just go a month back, 0303. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to put the end date as datetime.now. So 1 second. Just a second, guys. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take the date as the date today, rather, right? So instead of now, why? Because I want to run it on this weekend. And sometimes what I have noticed is that the API gets a little slow. And I may be wrong because the API has its own idiosyncrasies. And I've written equal to over here. Instead of that, I will use a dash. And this is 04. And this is, the date would be 22 over here, or 21 over here. Okay, so this would be the date. So I want today being the 23rd, which is a Sunday. I want my data till 21. Okay. So the 4th of April, 21 is what I want. Right. So this is my data start and data end date. And the next step which I'm going to do is I want something as an output. So I'm going to create a small framework for my output, and I will simply call it, let's call it alert, or let's call it homework. Okay. Let's call it homework because we're doing our homework, right? I usually use alert for the intraday, this thing, right? So home underscore work equal to, and we're going to create an empty dictionary. The dictionary data structure will have the first key as the stock name. So as the stock name goes, we will append this later with the stock name. Right now it's an empty dictionary. Then let's say something is bullish. Okay. So, or let's say something makes a new high, right? Let's say something is making a new high, and because it's making a new high, we want to append that particular stock closing price during that new high. Okay. When that new high is made at the close. Okay. This is the end of day analysis. Similarly, let's make a new column called new low, or a new key over here, not column, new low. And we come back to this and we'll see if we have time to put in more ideas together. Okay. So these three basic things will become later on a column wise tabular data in the form of a pandas data frame. Right now, this is an empty dictionary because I had to initiate the homework, right? So I have initiated it over here. Right? Now, what I need to go through is I need to go to each one of the stock in the stock list. And in that stock list, all the things that that stock is going to do, I'm going to go, it's going to go through certain conditions I'm going to make now, right? And it is going to throw me the results in this tabular data format, which will become a, basically in this dictionary, which will then become a pandas data frame. Okay, so let's begin. So how do I go this? I create a for loop. I say for stock, okay, for stock in stock underscore list. So I have my stock list. Now it is going to go through each and every stock. The very first thing which I need to do is I need to download the data, right? I need to give that downloaded data a name, and that name I'm going to give as a simple df is equal to yf, because we have created Yahoo Finance alias as yf over here, yf dot download, right? And we already have defined the start, end, and the symbol name. So the symbol name needs to be defined. The symbol name will be the stock name itself. So we write stock, comma, the start, sorry, spelling error, I think, yeah, stock, start, and end, right? So we've got these three things. So it is going to get, the data is going to get downloaded in this particular data frame. And how a data frame looks like, for those who are very, very new, should go to one of my recent previous videos and find out basics of backtesting. In the shortest basic backtesting video, the first basic backtesting video you could see, and you will get an idea. So because I'm doing it on PyCharm, there's no way to stop and look at this, how the data frame is going to look like. But the data frame looks like a neat and clean tabular format of data with an open, high, low, and adjusted close column. I'll just show you 1 second. I'll just show you how the data frame would look like. Yeah. So this is how the data frame would look like. Okay. I hope this is clear. Open, high, low, close, neat and clean format. Right now, when we take data from the Y Finance library, Y Finance API, we generally get a data which also has adjusted close column. So we're going to use the adjusted close column basically, right? So that is going to be our focus, adjusted close column. So let's just begin now, right? Now this data frame, from this data frame, what do I want? From this data frame, what I want is it to first show me that, okay, you have printed the data frame, at least show me the name of the stock. Okay, so let's just have that printed on our screen. Whenever this program is running, it will, the first thing it will print is the name of the stock. So let's just say it's going to print stock, right? Now I'm going to create certain conditions. So I have the open, high, low, close column. I'm going to make a condition. I'm going to make a new column called a new high. Okay, new underscore high. And I'm going to define what this means using the npwhere function. So npwhere will segregate, will compute and encode something as I wanted to with respect to certain conditions. So npwhere df adjusted close column is greater than, now let's take, is greater than, say, the close is the highest of the last 5 days close. Okay, so for that, what we'll do is we'll first take the adjusted close over here, dot rolling, which is and we put 5 days over here, dot max. Okay, so the highest close of the last 5 days will come under the column new high, and if this condition is met, we encode it as 1. If this condition is not met, we encode it as 0. This is the syntax structure for using the npwhere method, right? So this is what we're doing. Next is we do new underscore low, and we essentially do the same thing, except for the fact that now instead of the max, we are going to use the min. So I'll just simply copy and paste this, and I will make this min, right? Next, let me just make some space, looks neater. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to, so for each and every stock, there's a separate data frame created. Because of this separate data frame created, these are separate columns created in each and every of those data frame. And now I'm going to run through each and every data frame separately in this for loop itself, and then we're going to see how things go. Okay, so because I have to go within this data frame, I need to look at the last index of this data frame. I don't need to look and loop through each and everything. For this particular indicator, which is a new high or new low, okay, all I need to look at is at the last index, right? And be it any other conditions also I put, because I'm scanning the stocks. I'm not creating a trading strategy. I don't need to loop over the entire data frame. The vectorized calculation have been made. Okay, a new column has been created. I just need to look at the last. So within this if loop, for loop, I'm going to start an if loop if df new underscore high is equal 1. So in case this is equal 1, that means that the adjusted close is the highest adjusted close of the last 5 days. Then what we do, if df new high, why am I getting this end mark? So there is intendation expected. Yeah, I know that. Okay. Anyway, if this is the situation, then I'm going to simply append this dictionary right? I'm going to simply append this dictionary. And before anything else, I need to also make sure I append the stock name. So allow me to just do that. So the dictionary name is homework, right? And the key name is stock. The value now for the students in our upcoming batch, we're going to do these things a lot more in details, and we are going to also completely get into the basics and do it. So each and every syntax, where to be careful, where the program does not throw an error, all that will become clear to you. We're going to start a batch in the next month. Okay. So if you want more information, the number is given below in the description. You can connect us on that number. Okay. Now that course is going to be on algorithmic trading from start to end, basically. Okay. So if the DF new high is equal 1, okay, what we're going to do is we are going to first create the, like in the homework, this thing, we're going to create another addition to the column. So let's just say homework, just like we did over here, just that instead of, so I'm just copy pasting this for now. Okay. Instead of the key stock, I'm going for the new underscore high. And instead of this, I'm appending what? I'm appending the value of the stock, because I already appended the name of the stock. Now I'm appending the value of the stock, right? So how is the value of the, in the end, you will know how it looks like when we get the output on an Excel sheet. Okay, so appending the value of the stock means we have to append the last value of the adjusted close column. Okay, so this is the last value. And over here also, I have to compare the last value. This is a common mistake sometimes we make, or we later understand when we get an error. So this -1 equal 1. So I'm checking the last index, and if the condition is met, I'm appending it likewise. But what if it is not met? If this condition is not met, I will leave it as an empty. Now, somebody over here looking at this video as a student may be a little smart and say, "Sir, what if I just don't do this else? If I just do if, I'm not concerned whether the condition is not met, right?" So I'm going to just say that you will understand this, because when you are going to convert the dictionary into a data frame, all the arrays should be of the same length. Okay. So if df new underscore I, or I don't need to write that, because if it is not equal to 1, it is equal to 0, right? So else and a colon. Okay, so my homework template got made long back, and this is all I'm doing for all of you now. So just doing from such a basic level is not something I'm used to, but for the demonstration, I'm doing this, right? So if the condition is not met, I don't need to append with adjusted close. I'll simply append a small gap. There is nothing inside it, okay? So I'll append with this, a small string with nothing inside, an empty string basically. And I write another condition, the same thing. Now in this case, instead of the new low, new high, I'm going to go for the new low, right? So I just copy pasted it. A lot of things can be copy pasted only because they have a very similar syntax and a very small change need to be done. Don't think that coding is about copy pasting, because sometimes people make these mistakes because of the copy pasting, right? Speaking of mistake, I know one mistake I made in copy pasting, which I'm correcting right now, which is the adjusted close should be equal this, adjusted low should be high and low should be equal, not greater than, less than. That we generally do when we're coding trading strategy models. Okay, so over here this is clean. I would encourage everybody to just pause the screen right now, match their code with mine. Till now, if everything you have done, just check it out if you've done in the correct manner and we are in sync with each other. So you can just pause and check this out. Okay. So if again the else statement over here, because if it's not equal to 1, then it is obviously equal to 0. And else simply I will append the homework, the key in the homework, which is new underscore low. And for some reason, I just say new underscore low. I made a mistake. This. It's new low, not new underscore low. Okay. So small mistakes here and there. Because I made new underscore high and low over here, I tend to replicate that. But the key pairs over here are new high and new low. So this is new high. The first else statement, this is new high. Okay. If statement, this is new low. And the homework statement, again appended over here, the homework dictionary with new low. Dot append. What do I append it with? An empty string. That's it. I just need an empty string. So the entire for loop is done. And at the end of this for loop, I want to do something. So every time it goes within this, it's, so you get one stock, that stock data gets downloaded. That downloaded data turns into a data frame. The conditions are added. It is seen if the conditions are matched or not. And new columns are added. And eventually this homework of ours is appended. And in the end, after the entire for loop is done with, what we simply need to do is get out of the for loop. So whatever you see after this small gap or indentation is in the for loop. Now I'm getting out of the for loop. Now I take my entire homework, this thing, which is full of values now. And I'm going to say homework is equal to, and it's actually a homework is a new variable over here. So I'm simply going to do is pd dot data frame and convert this homework of mine into a data frame, which is also named homework. If I want, I could write a different variable for this. Okay. Now, I've converted in this into a completely new data frame. And now what I want is I want to create an Excel sheet, which whenever I run this, a new Excel sheet will be created, right? So let's do this via Python. Homework underscore two, home underscore what, 1 second, the Excel sheet, this thing is homework dot method dot to Excel. It should show over here. Yeah, here it is. And I'm going to create an Excel sheet and let's just call it 24th underscore April underscore 2023. Okay. Or instead of 24th, let me just make it 24. And after I create this Excel sheet, in my project 5 file, which is this, I don't know if you can see this. I'll just show you my project 5 file. This is the file. Okay. I'll just share the entire screen with you all. Okay. In this project 5 file, I will see that there's a new Excel sheet which will be created. Let me just minimize this and let me just run the program. I hope there are no mistakes or errors I've made. When you're programming, it's pretty common to have some errors here and there, some mistakes here and there. But I'm running this program. It's already in action. We'll give it a couple of minutes. We see every time we download, the name of the stock appears over here. So stop and rerun. Is going to download the Nifty file now because my stock list is just one. Okay. So it says that I have got a particular this thing in my error in my this thing. Okay, no date for this range, maybe. Oh, I'm so sorry. NSEI and rerun the program. Shift F10. So sorry. Yeah. Now it should work. So it should download the NSEI data and append whatever it needs to and then put it across to us on this thing. There's some other error which is thrown over here. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so I need to define uh, the Excel a little more properly. So just a second. So I'll just do that. Okay. PD dot tapping. Okay. Uh, so I basically forgot to write the extension Excel XLSX. Sorry. So now let's run the program again. Um, Now the program is running. It should download the data for NSCI and create a new Excel sheet. Let's open if the Excel sheet is created. Yes, it is created. So if you all do this, you can create an Excel sheet with your homework. Now I'm not doing that right now because I've got some programs running at the back end and it's going to use a lot of take a toll on my computer memory. So instead, I'm going to show you an Excel sheet over here. This Excel sheet I just created before the class, as in sorry, before the webinar and the morning, and got these results for just the new high and the new low alert. So this is something how it is going to look like. So I think one stock is missing. There are 49 stocks over here. And you can check out by doing this on your own on Python, right? For those who are interested in joining our upcoming course batch, we are going to start a course batch in mid of May 2023. The number is given in the description box below. So feel free to connect with me, connect with my team, and I hope you all have a great time. I wish you a lot of peace and joy and an enjoyable weekend. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.